Hello, I'm Pastor Joe Morrow, and this is Rhythm and Word, a weekly video devotional for you from Fourth Presbyterian Church of Chicago. I believe each of us is on a journey of faith and purpose, and many different kinds of people throughout our lives have shaped and influenced that journey. In these weeks, I've been sharing with you some of the persons of faith whose lives, and in particular whose words, have influenced my own Christian identity and my understanding of God's good news. And I hope they will influence you too. I must confess, it's been so hard for me to narrow down this list to just 5 of these influential figures. There are certainly more I'd like to introduce you to, but for now I want to close this series with the theologian and poet Wendell Berry. Now, I'm a city boy, through and through. I grew up in the concrete pathways of Chicago's South Side, where factory smokestacks stuck out like tall trees on the horizon. But my forebears from the American South were people of the land, fields, rivers, and lakes. Something in me has always longed to find the wisdom they possessed because of their closeness to nature. And I found that wisdom in the manifold works of Wendell Berry. Berry is a Kentuckian who still lives at 90 years old in the small farming community of Port Royal. He has spent his life writing essays, poetry, and novels that have inspired generations of environmentalists, Christians, people of faith, and people of goodwill. He defies political categorization. He's a bit of an enigma, but his work is clear about the connections between people and the creation. He's a keen observer of nature and people, and is quick to point out in his work where our attempts at mastery of the earth through technology and love of money quickly unravel. In his poem, How to Be a Poet, he sums it up succinctly this way. Communicate slowly. Live a 3-dimensional life. Stay away from screens. Maybe a good thing to do. Stay away from anything that obscures the place it is in. And then he says this. There are no unsacred places, only desecrated ones. Like a flash, the divides that I had been taught as a child crumbled, secular, sacred, impoverished, and wealthy, no man's land, wilderness, and civilization, flyover country, and cosmopolitan cities. What Berry says here, and what he lives out in his many works, is a philosophy which treats all land, all places, as worthy of love. Every place is some place where God as creator, redeemer, and sustainer can be encountered. That grounded, rooted understanding of our place and purpose led me to the works of other theologians and writers who exhibit that same attentive care, like African-American theologian Willie Jennings, who talks about the roots of racism in Africans and Europeans alike, turning people into commodities rather than as human beings rooted in particular lands. It led me to profound Native American spiritualities that can be found in the works of theologian Randy Woodley and botanist Robin Kimmerer. Isn't it amazing when one influential figure leads you to so many others who also enrich your life? So remember in your busy life to stop and recall that you too are connected and grounded in the places where you live and move and have your being. That these are places that have value before God and where you can find God if you seek. And you and I are called to care deeply for them. Friends, I hope that you will be blessed by the life, witness, and words of Wendell Berry, as well as the other figures I've reflected on in this series. I want to encourage you to go back and learn about Kosuke Koyama, Thomas Merton, Dorothy Day, and Desmond Tutu if you had not have had the chance to do so. Finally, I don't know if you're the praying type or what doubts or questions you may be holding about the message I've shared these weeks or what you're going through in life right now, but I don't want you to leave without a blessing, this blessing. May you harvest in wisdom what you sow in curiosity. May your pain be lessened by God's grace and your joy multiplied by God's abundance. And may all your searching and seeking lead you to the ready embrace of the God who loves you and loves us all. Till next time.